Well, good afternoon. I am coming to you right now. Lisa asked me this morning if I was going to do a message today, and I told her I didn't know. Since I was going to preach tonight, but I decided I'd just go ahead and speak to you for a couple of minutes. Um, a friend of mine had posted a piece out of Psalm 51, and I'm hoping that maybe she sees this and sees that she inspired me today. Um, so what I'd like to do is to read to you from that passage, and also to invite you to watch our church service tonight. We're going to be streaming live around 6 o'clock. Going to be out of Matthew chapter 17. It's going to actually talk about prayer and fasting a little bit, and we are in a time of stress and trial, and this is something that we ought to all be considering. But I want to share with you Psalm 51. And this says it's a psalm of David when Nathan the prophet went to him after he had gone into Bathsheba, after David had sinned, after he had recognized his sin. Um, this is what was on David's heart. So while it's a psalm, and we often focus on the positives without maybe thinking about the negatives. We don't have too many church songs that are sad and lamenting, and maybe we should have more. There seems to be a number of them in the Psalms. Let's go to this Psalm 51. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to your loving kindness, according to the magnitude of your tender mercies. Blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is always before me. Against you, you only have I sinned and done this evil in your sight, that you may be found just when you speak and blameless when you judge. Behold, I was brought forth in iniquity, and in sin my mother conceived me. Behold, you desire truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part you will make me to show wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me hear joy and gladness, that the bones you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me. Do not cast me away from your presence, and do not take your Holy Spirit from me. Restore to me the joy of your salvation, and uphold me by your generous spirit. Then I will teach transgressors your ways, and sinners shall be converted to you. Deliver me from the guilt of bloodshed, O God, the God of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of your righteousness. O Lord, open my lips, and my mouth shall show forth your praise. For you do not desire sacrifice, or else I would give it. You do not delight in burnt offerings. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. These, O God, you will not despise. Do good in your good pleasure to Zion. Build the walls of Jerusalem. Then you will be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offering and whole burnt offering. Then they shall offer bulls on your altar. I want you to think for a minute that when David is coming to God in this psalm, he is acknowledging his guilt, and he is acknowledging it was a sin that he did with knowledge of what he was doing. And he points out that there is no sacrifice that he can go to the temple and make. He can't walk in with a bull and blot it out. He has to have a broken and contrite heart. He has to have a change in who he is. So that's my message for this afternoon is as a nation, as individuals, we need to be thinking about the sin in our life, come before God with those things and confess them and get them out to the Lord. And then he will be happy with the praise offerings. But if you're just praising him, it's empty words as long as you have that garbage that you haven't turned over to him. So take a moment this afternoon, read Psalm 51 from your heart. Ask the Lord to create in you a clean heart. Acknowledge your sin before him. And it also says that then I will speak to the nations and they will be saved. So, through God's salvation to us, through what he has done to us, you have the opportunity then to share the gospel with those around you. Once you have confessed your sin, once God has saved you, that's what you're supposed to do. So have a great afternoon. Spend some time with the Lord. Know that we are in his hands and things are going to get better after they get maybe a little bit worse for a while, but things are going to get better. Shabbat Shalom. See you later. Pastor Jay. See you tomorrow.